Oh, hey, look who uploaded. Oh, this guy over here. What is up, bots? My name is Freaky. Welcome back to another story. This one is going to consist of very weird doctor moments that I had when I was little. This doctor's office was very, very weird looking, and the doctor was very weird also. Some might say that we thought he was a vampire at one point because he just wanted blood constantly drawn. That's the thing. So, going into it, I was young. I was like 5 years old. My brother was like 3. We were going to this thing for probably about 5-ish years. So we probably stopped going to it when I was around 8. There's little stories that lead up to this. So I'm going to tell you kind of like a backstory of how this place is and how this place works. And then I'll go into what my brother ended up doing. And then we ended up never coming back. So this place is a converted house into a business doctor's office, right, for kids. Now, it's not just a normal house. It's not like a house nowadays where it's like, oh, okay, it's converted into a business and then blah, blah, blah. It looks like a normal freaking building because a lot of things are like that now. No, this is like an 1800s house built into a doctor's office. So it automatically looks fucking scary from the outside because it has these long steeple, like, third-story parts of the house that go up to the top to the attic with the creepy little windows where you can see little children peeking out it and you can hear little footsteps running around the foot up in the top of the attic. All that shit, okay? Not gonna lie, winter times you could actually hear shit rolling around in the attic in this place. I'm not even kidding. You know, little kids pick up on stuff like that. Maybe they're just crazy. Little kids don't really remember too much stuff, but I remember, okay? So, this house is a haunted house. You know when you look at a house and it just looks old enough to look haunted? That's what was wrong with it. They converted the backyard into a parking lot, and then you had to come in through the back of the house. And when you enter the back of the house, this is something that you would just not imagine any place to fucking do, okay? This is just something you just don't do. And maybe they didn't even do it. Maybe they left the house how it was, because when you walk in, the walls are painted lime green. Like, literally the most lime green ever. It's like someone was doing a news report there and needed lime green chroma key walls to basically chroma key himself wherever the hell he wanted to go. It was that lime green, and then they have this, like, oak wood trim around stuff. Like, I don't know if the house owner before this people liked the lime green, or maybe the doctor's guy did. I don't know. The owner of this building was actually the main doctor of this building, too, which was weird. And he was the only doctor in this building. This is why it gets weird. So we'd go up to the counter after checking out and almost vomiting over this monkey puke green all over the place. And we'd have to set up an appointment, and then we'd get taken into the doctor's office. We'd see a nurse first. For some reason, he wouldn't come in right away. It would take a very, very long time, and it's probably because he's the only doctor there. And even when there wasn't a lot of people there, like most of the time when we went there, there was maybe like one more other client that were in there with their kids. Like, it wasn't anybody else. So we go in there, and we're like checking it out, and the doctor would literally take 20 minutes. At least that's what it felt like. And then when he would come in, he was this Indian guy. And I remember him because he had, like, kind of a skunk-like hairstyle. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's, like, graying, and then there's black streaks on it, and there was, like, white streaks. He looked like a skunk. Now, we'd have to follow him upstairs around the other side of the building because there's 2 staircases for some reason. There's one that's a spiral staircase, which we're going up to now, to go up top to take either x-rays or to get our blood pricked off of our finger. For some reason, they couldn't do that just in the doctor's room. They had to go all the way upstairs, too. So we had to take, like, basically a tour every time of this building, every time we went through. So we're going up this spiral staircase, and, you know, you can kind of see, like, everything while you're going up there. And it's very, very creaky and very, very old, and it's just not fun. So we go into this room, and every single time this guy wanted to draw blood for no reason whatsoever. I don't know who taught him this, and this is why we thought he was a vampire for the longest time. He literally wanted to prick your finger anytime you were there. He would always, like, insist on my mom trying to prick her finger, even though she's not even close to being the age that they do there. And anytime I would come in and I wasn't, like, having an appointment, he would always still want to prick my finger to draw blood. Like, he'd always wanted to do blood tests on every single fucking thing. Anything possible. Anyone was there, he would always ask and joke around and say that he wanted to prick someone's finger to get blood. It was very weird, to the point it happened every single time, and sometimes twice in a day, because he said that he screwed up on the first one. This is why we thought he was a vampire. After we got our fingers pricked, we could go wait in this other waiting room, which was all kind of glass-walled. That was right outside of that finger pricking room. And it was very weird because all the walls kind of were half-walled and then glass around. And it was like a little play area / waiting area that we could sit in and wait for the results for them to tell us we can leave. And sometimes that would take forever. And there would be little kids in there that were playing with these old, ancient 1800 toys in there with, like, the horsey riding, rocking things. And it was just fucking... I was just creeped out by it. And then, when we finally got to go, we could go back down the stairs, down to the living room, green room, where everything was fucking green. We could go back down there and leave. Now, what my brother did, what I'm about to tell you, is a turning point of us leaving this place. So, my brother and I were starting to realize, and he started to realize this way beforehand. He was the one that started telling my mom he was a vampire because my brother didn't like getting his finger pricked whatsoever. And sometimes he would literally prick it, like, 2 times, like I was saying. Like, he would say he'd screwed up or whatever, and then he'd have them prick it again. It was very weird, very, very unnecessary, and I don't know who taught him how to do this. Maybe just likes blood. I don't know. We thought he was a vampire. So, my brother had to go in to get his shots. And these were regular checkup shots. I think he was like 6 years old, so he had to get like 2 or 3 shots. And we went through the normal routine. Go into the green room, the lime green room, talk to the lady, go down the hallway, wait in a room until the nurse shows up, and then wait until the doctor shows up and do it all over again, right? Wrong. So we went into the room. My brother starts panicking. He says he doesn't want to get the shots. He doesn't want to get his blood drawn. The fucking vampire is going to come after him, and he's very scared about this. So what does he do when the guy comes in, say he's going to give him the shots? He literally sits there, waits for the doctor to reach for the needle to put it in his arm, like he's like unheathing it with like the plastic wrap and stuff, and my brother just screams and then just dips out the room. He like pulls open the door and just starts fucking booking it. He's like screaming down the hallway, "You can't touch me, you fucking vampire!" And just starts fucking running. And it literally for 35 minutes, we're all trying to find him. And I'm not talking about just my mom and I, the whole fucking doctor's office. And at this point, I think there was a couple people in the waiting room, so they were trying to help us too, trying to find him. And this house is like a fucking maze. It's a haunted house mixed with a maze, mixed with a doctor's office. It's a fucking scary place right now running through these hallways. It's fucking weird. And you running through them is like, it's like you're seeing deja vu and you don't know where you are. It's a very disorientating place. So it was very hard to find him. And for like 35 minutes, we couldn't find him at all until we randomly see that he is kind of peeking outside of a room that he said he was hiding under one of the medical tables, saying he didn't want to get fucking his blood drawn by the vampire. He literally got found by one of the main nurses at the place, and he was saying this to her, and she was like, what does he mean, the vampire? And this is like right in front of the doctor that he's talking about. He's like, I don't want to get attacked by the vampire. He takes my blood and he just keeps doing it. He just keeps doing it. Like, my brother was so like mad at that. Like, there's something he had like a vendetta against him. He's like, you don't take my fucking blood. I don't like it. And he did not want him to take his fucking blood. So I don't even remember if we actually ended up getting the shots for my brother that day, because I think we actually ended up just leaving because my brother didn't want to deal with this. It was like one of those situations like, well, this happened. A little awkward. We're probably just gonna go. Okay, this is, and it's not working between us. Okay, it's just not working. It's not working. So I believe we ended up transferring after that. But the thing is about this doctor's office, this creepy haunted doctor's office with the vampire doctor, he ended up getting his business closed down because of the storage of blood that he had inside of this doctor's office. And I'd never heard of this guy or seen this building ever again after we left it, but isn't that just ironic? My brother knew, and I knew that this guy was taking too much blood. I would kind of let him prick my finger every once now, but I think I was, helping him out. I thought I was giving him blood just to do it. Like I was kind of, I don't know. I was helping him out too much. Maybe I knew. Maybe I was part vampire or some shit at the time. This has turned into some type of weird shit. But it got closed because of the fucking blood shit that they had built up in this doctor's office, and it was uncleansing and it was breaking a health code violation or some shit, so they got closed for it. Like, it's just fucking weird how things, come in full circle like that, and it's just a weird doctor's experience. Let me know if you've had any weird doctor's experiences as a kid, or just in general, because this one was very, very weird, and maybe he was a vampire.